right, welcome to another Frequently Asked Questions Friday video. You'll notice we are in yet another different location today, and this is because I want to change the content that I'm bringing to you today by just a little bit. So we're in one of my favorite locations, which is in front of my whiteboard here at the office. And I think that the whiteboard is a really great way to explain estate planning concepts. To be able to see things visually seems to work quite a bit better than me just explaining them verbally to people. So I've been toying around with the idea of doing an entire series here in front of the whiteboard to explain some of the estate planning concepts that maybe need a little bit more than just the verbal explanation that we've been giving in some of these videos previously. So if you like that idea, I would really like to hear from you. Please comment in the comments section below and let us know if you think that that's a good idea. I would love to hear some feedback about that, or you could just message us on Facebook or LinkedIn and say what it is that you think about that. I do recognize the lighting is not as good in here, the sound is not as good in here, and also I have my good friend Ziggy, who is my Labradoodle, in the room with me, keeping me company today too. So I don't know if he's going to make a cameo or not. But the topic of the video today is going to be, can I sell my house if it's inside of my trust? So this is a question that we get a lot from clients when we're talking about trust planning. And in particular, they want to know if they can do this if they have an irrevocable trust. So I want to explain how this works. So the first thing I need to introduce you to is my patented living trust box, okay? So I like to describe the trust itself as a box. It can hold your assets for you, and so this is sort of a good way to describe it. So what I need to do is give you a little bit of a primer on who the parties are in the trust in order to explain how selling a house inside of a trust works. So the person or persons who create the trust are called the settlors, or you may also hear them called the grantor or the trust maker. So these are the people who create the trust, and these are the people who fund the trust, meaning they transfer their assets into the trust. So the settlor's job is to create the trust and then also transfer assets into it. And here, since the topic of the video today is the home, you're going to get my also patented house drawing, okay? So the settlors have done their job at this point. They've created the trust, they've transferred their assets into it, and now they need to allow the trustee or trustees to manage what's inside of this trust. So we introduce the second party, which is the trustee. Now in living trusts, fairly often the settlor or settlors may also be the trustees. It depends on the type of trust, it depends on a lot of other factors. So the trustee may be the settlor, or it's possible that it may also be another party. It really just depends. But the main thing to understand here is that the trustee's job is to manage what's inside of this trust for the duration that the trust lasts for. And for who? Or for what? What does the trustee do this for? Well, in order to benefit the party or parties who we call the beneficiary, okay? And we're going to abbreviate beneficiary as Benny, and we draw them right down here. So the three parties to the trust are the settlors, or the settlor who create the trust and fund it with their assets, and then allow the trustee to manage what's inside of it during the term of the trust to benefit the beneficiary or beneficiaries, okay? So the settlors have transferred their home into this trust, and now they've decided that their home is too big for them and they want to downsize. Pretty common issue that we hear about a lot. And of course, my clients want to know, am I able to sell this house? And the answer is, of course, yes, you're able to sell the house. So we just depict this visually by drawing a patented X or line through the old home. And then what I do is draw an arrow up to whatever that becomes. So we've changed the character of the assets in the trust. So normally what we hear is, well, we want to downsize. So we're going to walk away from the sale of this house with some money in our pocket, and then we're also going to wind up with yet another home, although this is going to be a different style and different style of tree, of course. And now inside of the trust we have money, which could be in the bank, it could be invested, any number of ways it can be treated, and then we have another home. So what we've done is we've changed the character of the asset within the trust. So who is responsible for making this happen? Well, the trustee, of course, because the trustee is the party, or the trustees are the party, who conduct business on behalf of the trust during its duration. So again, in some instances this may be the settlor or settlors, in other instances perhaps it isn't, but either way, the trustee has the ability to make this happen. Now the key to understand about this is you see that nothing came outside of the trust here. This was all business that was able to be transacted under the rules of the trust, and nothing came outside of the trust because of this. So for revocable trust, that's important because then you don't need to retitle your assets from way out here over into the trust again. And for an irrevocable trust, it's even more important because when this happens, you didn't lose the asset protection that you wanted to get from the trust in the first place. All you did was change the character of the assets. So the answer to this question for Frequently Asked Questions Friday is absolutely you can sell your home when it's in a trust. It's up to the trustee to take care of business on this, whoever it is, whether it be you or another party. But it's absolutely something that can happen and happens all the time. So if you put your home into a trust, yes, you can still sell the home. If you've got questions, we'd love to hear from you. And once again, in particular, I'd love to hear if this was helpful and if a session using the whiteboard is a better way to describe some of these concepts. So let us know either in the comments down below or shoot us a message on Facebook or LinkedIn. And as always, we would love to hear from you.